Hello and welcome to the demo for Summer at the Edge of the Universe. It's a visual novel, so you're probably like, what are you doing, my dude? Why are you playing this? It's because it's a demo, it's on Steam, it's new, it's part of my 2024 journey of trying to play all of the demos that come out.
Hey there, Willowmere, and whoever else is listening. This is Summer Nansen, coming at you live from the Willowmere Community Center. You and I have got a little bit of sunshine left to enjoy. I've been running around setting up chairs and beds all day, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna sit down and get right into the music.
I hit play and slide in my seat like a melted ice cream cone as the sounds of piano and guitar fade in. Sunlight streams in through the window and I bask like a cat in the beams. Twilight, my favorite time of the day, comes to greet me personally. For the first time since this morning, I'm able to take a moment to relax and breathe. I've sat down for hours. I'm not used to having so much to do every day. There have been more and more tourists arriving in town, and they've all got to set up somewhere. They've also got to get fed, get shown around, and tell me cool facts about wherever they're visiting from. It's mandatory. Sometimes I get lost in their stories. I could probably get a lot more done in a day if I wasn't always poking and prodding for more details. Oh, I am a redhead. So cool. Do the trees where you're from really reach all the way up to the sky? Do the rocks on your planet really squish underfoot when you walk on them? Is it true that the night sky is a different color every night? That's the stuff I want to know and hear about, the kind of stuff I've never gotten to see for myself. For every person like me who's never done or seen anything that memorable, it seems like there are 2 or 3 who've gone rock climbing in an asteroid belt or helped map out a new planet. After learning about some of these people's lives, I just have to hope that they won't leave Florel disappointed next week. Since I've been one of the community center's volunteers for a while, I got put in charge of a whole welcome crew. Our main job has been setting up temporary housing for all the folks flying in, but I've ended up running a lot of other errands too. As exhausting as it's been, I don't know what I'll do when things go back to normal in a few days. I've gotten kind of used to falling asleep early and sleeping in late. I'm sure my legs will appreciate it, at least. With Windsong nearing its end, I flip through a list on my phone to pick the next one. Before I can choose, there's a deep reverberation from nowhere that begins to rumble around the room. After the initial surprise wears off, I rest my head on my hands. Here we go again. I disconnect the microphone temporarily to avoid blaring any crazy feedback. The rumbling shifts and loud music fills in the air. Pouring in from beyond the window, plucked strings, a distant melody that doesn't exactly sound out of place in this universe. I press my headphones against my ears and turn up my music. It lasts only a few seconds before it fades away and the shaking disappears with it. With a sigh, I go live again.
Sorry about that, if you heard it. Celestial noise. Same as every other day lately. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty over it.
The color of her arm and the desk kind of bleed into each other, and the size of her arm also makes me think that's actually her leg.
At first, it was all cool and mysterious, but now it's just kinda annoying. Like, it's woken me up a few nights in a row. At least let me hear the whole song. Anyway, here's something a lot nicer to listen to. A live clip from Willowmere High's orchestra and choir last week. You'll be able to hear them at the CosCon soon too. Less than a week to go.
Stretching and yawning, I just stare out the window and enjoy the music. From up here, I get the best view of the city that anyone can have, all the way to the edge of Willowmere, and then beyond it. Past the tiny dot that's my own house, through the fields and flowers, and all the way to the distant smudge of Petal Streak. Lately, storm clouds have made even the unusual sights a lot more foggy, but the sun has managed to win for now. Even twilight fades away as the glow of the street lamps and buildings takes its place. There's a steady trickle of ships returning home for the evening and a few taking off for elsewhere. Before long, a kaleidoscope of colors blooms, the warm yellows of homes mixing with all the crazy shades from the street signs and shops. I can identify a lot of them by shape or by shade. A crooked neon banner marks Willowmere's premier watering hole. A row of soft blue orbs light the creek trail. All the evenings I've spent up here have instilled me with a complicated love for this town and planet. Affection mixed with some other kind of feeling. It's not nostalgia and it's not melancholy, but it's definitely related to them both. A longing for something that I don't even know. Ooh, I skipped it on accident. I wish there were still new things for me to see out that window. By the time my show comes to an end 3 hours after I started, things have gone from bustling to empty. There's nothing new either. On the days that I do my show, I'm usually the last to leave. The community center is such a part of everyone's life that most people just call her Cece, like an old friend. Weirdos like me say her instead of it. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll daydream about what I think she'd be like if she was an actual person. Maybe a little too much time on my
Good night,
hands.
Willowmere.
Even if there's no one listening anymore, it always feels like I should say something before switching off the lights. I hum to myself as I get on the elevator. Some nights I'll take the stairs down. Tonight is definitely not one of them. Through the glass windows, I catch Cece's floors flow past. Besides a huge digital archive of everything everywhere ever written, it has a pretty big collection of real ink and paper books. It's one of the only ones in our local planetary system. Sometimes, Mom stays here browsing until closing time. There's also a video game archive, practice rooms for musicians, free history lectures, and even the skeleton of this giant Earth-based lizard monster. Basically, it has whatever you could want. These floors look kind of lonely as I pass them by. Pretty much every light in the building is out. The elevator dings to a stop, and I step out into a sitting area with plenty of plush chairs. During the day, every one of them is occupied. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna not read any more of this and just kind of jump through. I will say that art-wise, it's a very nice looking game. The game looks really, really good from a standpoint of graphical fidelity, and everything is just really nice. I mean, we got Summer here. She's wearing the outfit that little Georgie wore before the clown Pennywise takes him to live in the sewer and bites off an arm because he was hungry. But hey, I mean, it's the future. It's space. People make some weird choices. The writing, I will say, has been really good. Like, everything that's being said feels well written. It's not just like a whole bunch of words on the screen without it actually mattering or having some kind of point to it. So I think that's really well done as well. Oh, look, she's got two different colored eyes. Like, one of my favorite colors is blue. I also like green. Reminds me of grass.
Because I wish.
And grass means like you won't typically find sharks because sharks don't live in grass; they live in water. And so grass is like a safe spot from sharks, not from snakes or bears, but it doesn't matter. Not the point. Let's see what the functionality of things are. Let's see. We can do some skipping. Can we do skipping? No skipping. Here we go. Text. Skip everything. Different fonts, which are good. Cool. Okay, good settings. I like that. Now let's see what happens when we skip everything. It gives you a good idea of like how much stuff there's actually going to be. A lot. So there is a very considerable amount of stuff going on in the demo. Based on like how much text I've seen and how long it takes me to read, I would say probably take like an hour to 2 hours to read through everything. Yeah, but people don't tune in to my channel to listen to me talk for 2 hours about a visual novel, so I don't really do that much. So I try to keep visual novel, takes relatively quick, where I just kind of read through and talk about what I've seen and stuff like that. I will say that I feel like it's taken quite a long time before I've actually seen like an option or a choice to do. And that's probably one of the reasons I don't really play a lot of visual novels, because mostly it's reading a book, and if you don't get into the characters pretty quick, it's just kind of like, why would you even read it at that point? So I do like it when you start to have choices, and you're actually making choices for the character, you're helping drive the story. That part I really like. So seeing that there are choices is nice, but seeing that there are so few choices is kind of disappointing. I definitely wish there were more choices to be done here.
Hold that thought, Naomi!
Yeah, it seems like we can't really skip this portion. Oh, there it goes. The voice acting that I've heard, I will say, is really good for all of the different characters. Yeah, and this obviously this continues going for a very, very long time. But hey, you get to see the pictures of everything and seeing like what it is. But yeah, this is a very, very long demo. I don't know if that means the game itself is going to be kind of massively long. There is currently no release date. It is simply to be announced, which could mean anything at all. Yeah, so there's definitely like enough here for you to play and really get a good idea on whether or not this is something you want to play. So the link is in the description if you'd like to try it yourself. If you're a fan of visual novels, I definitely recommend it. If you're not a fan of visual novels, I'm not sure it's really going to be one that you're going to particularly want to get into because there's more reading than interaction, which is kind of common. But overall, I thought it was a good experience. Really dig the art, and the story from the part that I did read in the first couple of minutes was interesting and engaging. I just wish there was more interaction. That's it. Thanks for watching.